Welcome back, homies. We back now. This topic is, we're just gonna have a conversation about like business journey and those who, but how it's in math, guys, the accountant, but about to with the SARC, what, I don't know what the accountant in America thinking, but you know what? Today, me and you, we are about to find out more details because now I'm talking about the account. What's going on? Maybe there's more than that. So, hey, okay, Wagae again. Okay, that's good. I'm very good with memorizing. Okay, good to so you want to building and I say like a get no man. Carolina Lina Lily familia, Ricky, the ha, Kiton Cocota, never to bow, but he has Lara Cocota. Haritene and a rich queen ago, Hariti again. No Cocota, Vitsi, Lena Halula has a Lara, so where you have to knock or Bahuiti, then later you don't have to knock by or Korea.
It's true, I mean, even biblically, legacy
straight.
So it's always important. Lena to after such a long time, it's always great for
yeah.
And it's always great to acknowledge each other's achievements. And although we all know it can never be easy.
True.
It's a journey, and there's a whole lot of things.
A lot of challenges.
Yeah. So yeah. I've been Mukurumani for Nakwete Lenyana, and this is my home. I grew up here.
And come back.
Then I came back home.
Hey, we always come back. Shame. I wanna live naked now. Oh, Marie. Kela hore solution ga ke batla go bua ka shone thata mara ke tsama ke go reetsa ke go bona ke be ke tla gae so ke a bona gore re bana ba mburi dula re boela gae re tla go dira se re se rutileng gore se re se ithutang go di plekeng tse dingwe re tla go dira mo gae because I say everyone should nae mo Gauteng, Cape Town, those big cities. We need to le rona re dire big city ya rona mo Kurumane.
I can I mean, who went it's inspiring. Who bona batho ba dule ba ntse ba boela mo gae ba tla go jala. Se ile gore ba tla se go tutse go tloga go bua. Ra itse gore Kurumane is a small town, but it's one of the fastest. I don't know.
Small town with a lot of business opportunities in future.
Population growth, it's one of the fastest growing.
Also, a lot of mines that are around.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of economic activity that is taking place in Kurumane, and I think there's potential for growth actually. And I mean, it's just that because of certain challenges, that makes a bit difficult to actually. See such talent, but we are there and we are here.
Yeah.
And there's something. I mean, with people like you, especially whatever that is happening, regardless is it small, is it growing, is it big? I think with their exposure, it's actually a very good thing that you are doing. And I mean,
good.
At the end of the day, I don't think, looking at the amount of work that I have now, I would have just said yes to this interview.
Yeah.
And if you can growth,
yeah.
So it's actually inspiring.
So take us back to like how to be accountant you must be a student classing o gonna fail the African city, you must be a good A student. ga le motho o ratang dipalo o rata go tlhakanya ga nke ke motho a go ropa ka madi-nix.
Well, I kitse gore a go ntse yalo, but thank you for through the journey. Ga kitse gore personality wise ga ke sure nkitse that ke motho ke buang thata, so that is why today ke leka go eta ke ikemisa because I know I ke tla go bua ke buela rona. But just to give you a brief background as to where I come from. Originally ke tswa ko Butitong village. I was born in Diervart village, and then grew up in Butitong, and then I went to school in Butitong. Then after that I went to high school in Northwest called Tagakloof.
Okay.
And then after Tagakloof, honestly speaking, I don't think I was one of the brightest students. I have to be honest. But from what I know, I mean, even the people in my class would tell you that this guy or Nabotat. I was not one of the brightest, but I was one of the most hardworking students or learners.
Effort.
I did everything. I think everything that you see now, that I'm doing now, it actually started back in high school. I've always been competitive. I don't have to be creative. I mean, I've seen people who are so flippant creative more than me. I mean, even yourself, you are so creative. I've seen some of the things that you have actually tried in the past. And you are so creative, but my creativity it's different. I think it depends more on my hard work and also my ability to actually think and analyze.
And commitment.
And analyze certain things. So in terms of mathematics, I think I was doing well, not because I was intelligent, but because I was actually working very hard. I mean,
you were putting an effort to understand and make it work.
I think that was the case. I mean, at some point I still remember when I was writing my second paper in trigonometry and geometry. Trigonometry was not one of my favorite focus. I mean, areas mathematics, and it was so difficult for me. And my school teacher told me, my mathematics teacher told me that I need to focus more on geometry. You understand? And I mean, that was
high school or
high school. I'm talking about at metric level now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, she could see that I've tried my level best on trigonometry. It is still so flippant difficult, but she said, look, this is how I want you to write the paper, the second paper. You're going to start your second paper from the middle, because the first part, it's actually the first half is your trigonometry, and then geometry is at the back. So you're going to start from geometry, you finish off geometry, and then you go back to trigonometry. So I think I was so good at geometry to a point whereby on the second paper, I think if for geometry only, if I didn't get 98%, then I don't know, because I just show trigonometry. That's how difficult it was for me. So I ended up not touching it. So if I got 50% for the second paper, then it should have been 100% from geometry, and then obviously it gets added to your the first paper, which is algebra, and then you get your final mark. But other than that, I've always been a hard worker. And then after that, I went to the University of Johannesburg. That is where I did my BCom accounting degree. It was so difficult. Actually, it was difficult. It was very, very difficult.
But I pushed. I have to win this.
At the end of the day, I think sometimes you need to be driven by the vision, like earlier before we started this interview. We spoke more about the vision. I mean, if the vision is not there, your whole body will actually feel the vision is not there. So even if the pain is I mean, the communicate a little. If the vision is not strong enough to actually carry you through, to carry your knees, your everything, your legs, even through that pain that you're going through. If your vision is not clear and strong enough, then definitely because you become weak. Then you end up giving up. That is why you would agree with me. There's a lot of our people age group suffer from depression, suffer from different things, and it's not that bad. Sometimes we get confused. We generate or we develop too many visions and then because of lack of focus, because I work at lack of focus, it's very difficult to focus on 10 different things.
Yes.
Whereas if you're focusing on one,
Yeah.
then it becomes easier.
It becomes easy. Yeah.
So it becomes easier. So I would say even to this day, for me to finish off my degree, it was all about that. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And I mean, I still remember by the time when I was at, when was it? I think I was at Standard Bank. I worked for Standard Bank in Joburg. And I told one of the guys, one of my friends, I told him that I'm actually going to start a business very soon.
Yeah.
And at that point, I did not know what kind of a business I'm actually going to start.
Oh.
This thing, yes, you know, it just came
out of nowhere.
Yeah, but it was not even once.
Yeah. It's been years.
Yeah, it's been 10 years to be exact. Because we started in 2014.
Yes, I remember when I started my film modeling agency. You used to help me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So those are. I mean, I was even telling my wife about you. I told her that I actually met this lady. The last time we spoke to her, I think it was sometime in 2017 or 16.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. So. I think you were one of the first clients that I had when I started. So it's, you know, and I think this is it's actually a great thing that you are the one who's actually doing this interview.
Yeah.
To tell people how many mistakes did I do? Did I make on that registration?
Yeah.
What we had to go.
But
through.
you keep on.
I kept on.
Yeah. My registration, I remember.
Yeah. There was a lot.
Agency,
there was a lot, but you would find people by now they would have given up.
Yeah,
they would have. We have to be honest. They would have given up.
Yeah, we fixed a lot of things. I remember you taking me way back now.
It's those things, and unfortunately, unless we get the thinking right, we'll never. And I think it's one of the things that we spoke about. Was it 2 days back when you were here?
Yeah, no, yesterday.
It was yesterday.
No, was it yesterday?
No, it was
maybe
not yesterday.
The day before yesterday.
The day before yesterday, yes. So, it was the issue of already. Sometimes, if you don't condition your mind for a certain thing, then your mind is not going to be ready for certain things. And there's going to be a lot of things. I mean, Yana, just to come through here, there was a lot of things that I was thinking about, and some of them are actually not positive things. But if you see, if my mind is not conditioned enough to actually deal with some of these negativities, then I don't think even this interview would have been able to actually conduct it. Why? It's because sometimes we didn't and you can't come to such an interview.
Definitely.
Yeah, you can't. But
you won't even feel it. You won't be able to reveal like information that people who's going to watch this, they will be like,
the most important information. Because what is the use of sitting here and then you are just talking
and your mind is just somewhere else in 100 places.
Thank you.
Okay, so you know, we are close to a lot of high schools around here, and I remember 2021 I had a project. I was in Hotazel, like that side of Hotazel, those village. Yeah, they did the career development or and the career exhibitions. So a lot of students from grade 10, they were struggling. Like if they didn't know the institutions that we have in South Africa, like different ones. You understand, and different careers. That it's not only to be Lipodisi, Lishole, or Roberta Komain, Hoiling Mereko. Or lawyer, there's other things that you can do, you know. So in terms of to be an accountant, what would you advise the students for like study focus not that you know everything, but what would you advise them for waiting na sena simperekete sena hasamperekela?
Yeah. No, I have to be honest with you. It's a very, very important question. I was not even prepared for that one, but it's so important that it's even emotional for me. Let me tell you, when it comes to this thing of accountancy and being an accountant, especially if you're going to go in practice like I did, it's a different journey, and you have to also condition your mind, your brain, or is strong enough. Because if it's strong enough, then you're going to have a problem. So if it's not strong enough, you're going to have a problem whereby along the way you might just happen to give up. So one of the things I want curriculum the way I structure can I feel there's a need for people to, for kids or learners to actually discover themselves at a very, very tender age. To say, I think, I feel, or this and that. And then based on that information or based on whatever say after that, then emotion. The first thing, as an accountant, if you want to become an accountant, obviously you have to study, but you don't have to have actually done accounting at high school level. But it's advantageous for Bonale maths. I know a lot of accountants who are good and they didn't do mathematics at high school. But it's advantageous when you have mathematics because there's a whole lot of things to be solved and it's I still apply mathematical formulas. I mean, there's I still remember method of depreciation. I can't remember, was it cost accounting or it was financial accounting? And to actually arrive at that answer, I applied one of the formulas that I had learned to high school. It's solving things simultaneously, the equations simultaneously, and even working backwards, because sometimes sometimes you need to actually work at the value of certain assets backwards. So if you have that mathematical eye or that thing, that ability to analyze, then it becomes easier for you to actually even work backwards, because I mean mathematics, you don't when it conditions your mind differently. So that's one of the things that I would advise learners to actually do. But if now you are studying your graduates, you have actually graduated from become accounting or accounting sciences. I mean, there's a lot of people that I've trained. Most of them you don't know them, if not all of them. One of them, Kinikinale, just recently, and he said to me, Mr. Wagae, I think that's the same one, but in accounting, in practice. I'd rather be an accountant elsewhere, but not in practice. In practice, it basically says, talks to you, assisted different clients, but business. So, a particular corporate, then just become an accountant, specialized maybe corporate finance or whatever the case may be, or even cut taxation. It depends on how specialized again. But the reason why most of them they find it very difficult to actually become accountant in practice, accountants in practice, is because it's different. Now you have to run a business and you need the accounting skill. Your accounting skills must be very, very sharp. So you having to combine your entrepreneurial flair together with your technical skill. It's so difficult sometimes because sometimes you are expected to behave in a certain way as an entrepreneur for certain conditions. In entrepreneurship, sometimes they can just impede on your ability to deliver the highest quality of output, even if you are technically equipped to actually do that job. So I think they were able to see certain things. As I was training them to say, more on your meeting, but we actually like this thing. They like the idea of being accountants, but the idea of just being in
that's the thing with that's the thing earlier on when you mentioned Horan. Like a lot of students, like by that time I think the project was like 2 years. A lot of students banabasa eating. They just love the idea, or like I can be a police. They love the idea of the uniform. They love the idea of they love the idea of the uniform, but it's not like passion. It takes time. Even I'm 30 years, but it took me forever that Actually, I think I love film in production. I also love, working
behind
with
the camera.
Yes, like it took me forever, and I was so scared. I don't want to lie. I started my channel 2019, and then I was just depending on people in terms of like editing, in terms of shooting. I was like, I want someone to be a presenter. You understand? Because what I'm doing now, I believe that I'm presenting because I'm the one who's asking questions and whatsoever. I was so scared. I was like, am I gonna say the right things? Maybe get long buayana and then but judge and then get trend because what. So you take time to find yourself. And then also, once you're scared because there's no one who's pushing you. Also, we're lacking, especially, I don't know if it's like all black people or maybe everyone. We struggling with having, a emotional support. Someone who will be like, someone maybe close to you who will be like, you can do it, Someone who believes in you. No, Nana, you can do it, Nana. Just keep on trying. Believe in yourself, Sometimes you just need to hear those kind of words from someone who's very close. You understand? So we lack of that, especially this side of the village, this side of like small town and stuff. We lack of that.
I understand.
Our parents tend to judge or like, nana ke batla una doctor, ke batla una lawyer. You want to do like a YouTube, they're not familiar with that. Yeah, it kind of like what are you doing?
Yeah, but remember, I think it's natural. I'm not sure if it is only happening to us black people, but I think it's natural for people to misunderstand you.
Yeah.
It's natural for people to, especially if you're too creative, to be misunderstood. I mean, this guy, Vusicha Mbekwa, once said, if you want to be understood, if you want to get along with people all the time, then you cannot do anything. Then you cannot become an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurs, in most cases, you'll be told, you can't, that thing is not going to make money.
Because you think big.
You think big.
Yeah, you think very big.
Let me make an example. You are talking about you now thinking about, making like this thing, you're going to make a mistake. If you present, am I going to ask the right questions? What's going to happen? Do I need 10 cameras?
Yes.
Audio quality? Is it going to, also the audio, is it going to sync well with the camera and all of that? So it's actually the vision. The vision is already big. But now, because of the vision being too big, you want to, if you don't have the patience, you have to start this thing from scratch.
Start from somewhere.
Then it's going to become a problem. I mean, I'll be honest with you. This office.
Yeah.
Hagia office is a pension or loan or anything. You understand? The reason why I can is because you know that can get some kind of top strategy.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Can get some kind of top strategy.
Black,
yeah, can get on text here and say you did that envelope.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Exactly. So some of those things, the problem is our society or caring, especially amongst our black youth or population. But our school, we can't be seeing you around.
Yeah, just because we're very pure.
That's the thing. That's the problem.
That's the mindset.
We don't want to start from scratch. And sometimes, I mean, all of my employees, I always tell them, this is Kitoko. I still remember this other lady when I'm there again, as a junior accountant. When I told her my story, she was very emotional. She couldn't understand. Like, she couldn't
That's the
get
thing.
it.
People when they see when they see you, and story like.
So she didn't. And it was emotional to her, you know why? Because can keep your story say, and this is where he comes from.
Yeah.
We used to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like I this guy no, There was a point going on. So.
Yeah.
So I mean, at some point since at some point it was very difficult for me to even afford a toilet room.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
I mean, I've had so many people coming to me.
Yeah.
My mom even cried, literally cried.
Yeah.
Like tears rolling down
we
her
have
cheeks.
stories.
So she cried. It was so painful. I still remember. At some point, my dad I'm back like the whole day. Then on a Saturday, I said to one night, your uncles, this is what they did, and you are one about pusher. You can also start from
here. Also do it.
And I think because they only have one formula. They only have one formula. They haven't tried a different formula. So after and then after America, yeah. So there was the issue because people don't understand certain things you have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
And certain things if you don't start from the ground, I get worried. I get worried about a whole lot of people. I don't want to start that instead of me I become worried. Because I know this thing is a process. So if you trust that I just become worried. Do you know the process of
the challenges that you left there? The challenges.
It's a mess. So if you are not ready, it's going to kill you.
Yeah.
You understand? So that's the problem. And I think this thing is, as your channel grows, you need to also have a way. Some people, it could be Buddhi psychologists, but why don't they are well trained, by law, especially by the entrepreneur. By law, they've actually taking the entrepreneurial phasing, but it's into therapy, like this is. I think you need to actually bring them in so that they can tell stories of people that they have met.
Yeah.
What was the downfall? What was the cause of the downfall and all of that? I mean, even now, I can see sometimes we don't really struggle because we don't have the technical ability or even our ability or even the vision to actually do certain things. We struggle because of societal emotion. We are expected to actually do certain things at a certain time.
Yeah.
And
we limit a gadget. I can reach at 25. I can reach at 80. All my peers and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Okay, let's get to. I don't know if I think it's important because once you are accountant or what accountant, medical accountant like specific king. Sort out the book or prudence lunch or you click a 100 rand vacationing or like medical accountant taking like how can I in a short
Now you has a problem although you find your answer because no these things we can see them we can see them and we try by all means to educate our people, especially in a setting whereby you are not owning the company alone or the organization. Let's talk about, for instance, the NPO. We cannot greche, we cannot soup kitchen, we cannot and sometimes we cannot carry. Remember, because our intellect, the tamar madi amari and adira.
You every Sunday, madi had
yeah, you try to know, but sometimes the question marker disadvantages. I mean, even now there's an entity. It took us a very long time to get clarity on the transactions. It took us a very long time. So I'm one person no longer. I mean, this thing it's for public. And I have to call each and everyone who are involved during that time.
Yeah.
So basically what we do, more especially in Pillar Solutions accountants, we specialize in tax and accounting. We don't do any auditing, we don't do a lot of corporate finance, but we do accounting and auditing. We specialize in that. So what basically happens is we do bookkeeping for certain clients, and we also do reviews for certain clients and taxes like almost like it's every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So we do all of that. So mainly when we started off, we were actually offering our services to everyone, and most of our services, I think you'd still remember, I used to do the business profile, business plans. We no longer do those things. And there was a time when I canceled company registrations. It's only now that people are demanding and we want you to actually do it for us. Then it's a problem. Then,
you have to squeeze it.
We have to squeeze it in because I mean you'd be shocked. I don't know what is happening. I think it's but what has been happening from January to date, I don't know for because a lot of people that I met when I started the business, they are now coming here, including you. So I've had, I've had in the boardroom just 2 or 3 months back. It was so nice. And then the next couple they were here. My people are back. They came here and in fact they even paid yesterday. So they came in prepared. And then a couple but rare the lady run the business. So now we're not going to have
I mean,
so
but
whatever that is happening now, and it's actually a good thing. Because business. So can a decade, full decade, business. So maybe it's a sign. I don't know. But to Bali, you have to actually listen to them now. Not to say about last year or but those are the people that started before. So I think it's one of those things. It's actually humbling, and I'm so happy. I was so happy and excited to get Heban. And just
and you didn't even know. I didn't even want to call you. I was like, you know what? So I think it's already. I can how to get an copy. I get a how this one booting.
Oh,
yeah, no, kiss it to her kind of chica. Hey, and go later, not till he had it. So the Lara chica because legally how one man skip on a no man. Lina Lele, Hahono or Lina there's no way. Get a market like Ria now, which I used one day on a kit head. So let's just Luloyana, Teddy Uteng website, Uteng Facebook, Uteng which social media, and how do people find you? Kind of section making.
Like Obama.
Just next to Complex.
Yeah, Complex and TV Start. Obama section. TV Start. Molukula 8474. So in terms of we are very much active on TikTok. YouTube. Maybe we can guide, and then Facebook. We used to be active, but because of a response at TikTok, both of them at the same time. Because TikTok in any business, a lot of business.
TikTok is very busy.
Getting a lot of business from outside Kuruman. I mean, I've had people actually flying in. Literally flying in to come and see me in Kuruman, which is something similar. And then I mean I've had clients in Joburg, Cape Town, not Cape Town I don't have any clients, and then and then obviously Bambo. So I mean there was a point when I was actually supposed to launch an office, to open an office in Joburg. Then I ended up not doing it because my response was just in millions. I mean, Pretoria, Joburg, what thing they really have a face to face. They trust the brand, what they want.
No,
for as long as we can deliver.
As long as we deliver, Working ke kopa BBE, ke kopa tax clearance, ke kopa emo send na ka bona.
They want that, and that's all that they want. And then LinkedIn, LinkedIn reactive, LinkedIn page are active, website ya rona. Hona le .co.za e leng hore tla nne re tswale because there is .com. So a lot of people are still sending me emails and inquiries go info, and it's not active. But cell number is not updated on both websites, so we just need to close down that.
Okay, do you mind to share the cell number where people they can, guys, if you want to register your business, it could be your makeup brand. We don't have makeup brand in Kuruman. I don't recall another makeup brand. Like, let's be creative, man. There's a lot of things that we can do. If you want to do anything, like, and you don't know where to start, you don't know how to start, like, I don't want to lie, you won't regret to come here. And it's not even far. You won't regret to come here. O tlo kra di sedinyana, we tseking ba go drawele map go go tswa ha wa go ya kae, o buya kae, o buya kae, o buya kae. Go easy how dirisana mmogo le batho ba bangwe wa bona tlhaloganye e one ha e khone go bereka e le one, mara ha di 5 di khone go make a sense le a way forward. So if you can just share the numbers so that we can just record go khone go sendela batho di BB certificate.
Yeah, number. Fortunately, I only have one number. Fortunately, so it's 0655318600, 0655318600. I think what I think I will subtitle someone.
Definitely.
And then
it's the same number that I have.
It's the very same one that you have. And then website www.pilarasolutions.com. And then Instagram and Pilara Solutions Accountants, and then the Facebook Pilara Solutions, and then LinkedIn Pilara Solutions. The only social media platform like Twitter or X. Yeah.
And Instagram.
Instagram, I'm not active, but I have a page.
Okay. Alright, no, thank you so much for creating like a few minutes.
I know, I really appreciate it. Yeah. Unfortunately, like you can need to talk about my phone.
No, Sarsi, but comply.
Unfortunately.
Thank you so much.